should.
Next,
You think it should
next
be
spring, when your roof is clear again, you remind me, and I'll send my guys out there, and you shouldn't have to rake that. You really shouldn't. I have a feeling that those cables are probably not coming off of the edge.
Well, they definitely don't go down into the downspout. That I know for a fact.
And so what's your problem? Is it that the gutter is backing up and that's the problem, or what's
No,
the problem?
on the roof itself. I'm with you.
So what happens is when you get all this hot air, and it tends to melt the roof itself, the body of the house. But then when the water gets to the eave, it's cold down there. So that's why it freezes down there.
Oh, okay.
So you're too hot up here, and then it's cold down here. Hey, Tom?
Oh, so it refreezes.
It freezes at the edge. So the strategy, the best of all, if you can keep the whole thing really cold and just keep that snow up there, then it's almost like a thermos. You want everything to melt slowly. Do you know how much insulation the attic has?
No, well, I've got 3 attics. I don't know that particular one. The one where the furnace is that I've been up in, man, there's a lot. They did not. There was nothing cheap about how they did that.
If there's a furnace in the attic, maybe that's contributing to the problem.
It's in a different attic.
Is that attic the one that you had the drywall damage before?
No, that's a different one.
You see what I'm saying? If you have a furnace up there, that might cause a lot of heat to
Yep.
go through the roof deck and prematurely melt.
And they built a massive fan up in that attic with the furnaces. Massive. It looks like a big turboprop, man. And when that thing comes on, it's crazy.
It probably doesn't come on during the winter, though.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Somehow it automatically comes on and off. I never even considered what triggers it. Would it be the furnace, or would it be the air conditioner?
I'm sure it's got a thermostat.
Okay.
When the attic gets over 95,
Then
something like that,
it turbos on. Yeah, it's kind of wild. Then we've got an attic over just the master suite, which is pretty big. And then there's an attic for the last attic, where that happened. And it's right over, we're an ice dam, so you go out onto our deck. Our deck is cement, and you got a big sliding glass door. So you go out there, and right over it is where it ice dams. And just nothing hits it. No sunlight hits it.
You have an open
And how the
attic
roof
above.
works is it comes down where an ice dam was right there, and then you have an eave that comes over here and an eave that comes this way. So, I mean, these 2 roofs basically block anything from hitting these.
And they're draining onto that center.
And they're draining, and finally I pulled off, I had this, not a gutter helmet, but basically this white with holes in it put over the gutters.
Yeah, the screens are not great.
And I had to remove, well, with all the pine needles, so holy shit.
But man, the screens get clogged easily. Yeah. I have those, they suck.
Well, I don't know what you put up there because I use a roof rake. So if I put actually a gutter helmet, I can't roof rake.
You can't.
The gutter helmet, you could still roof rake, but gutter helmets don't cause ice dams.
They're actually the best.
They don't. But if
Expensive as hell,
you have an ice damming problem, gutter helmets will make it worse.
How about
Because what
for pine
happens,
needles?
so check it out, the gutter helmet, it's kind of flat, and the water will gather on top of that.
Blasphemy, blasphemy.
And because it's metal, it will.
Blasphemy.
It will.
Blasphemy!
Now they have these kind of
You don't
they have these kind of gutter
worship
helmets
at the
in.
church of Carl Scheib.
Man, that dude,
He's gone.
thank God.
He's a smart fucking guy.
Carl Scheib.
Carl Scheib is one of the smartest
He
businessmen.
started a gutter helmet.
Tell them
Remember the
Mark
Atlas-
Major on steroids. What?
Atlas stem cell one where Centeno got back to us on it. Now she's going to ask you about taking them to small claims court. I just thought it would be a good one to work Centeno's live into if we have
I think
Centeno
it's
on the law.
perfect. You have my shot. You have my sheet.
I've had it there.
She's going to have an expert
thank
come in.
Is he on here today?
The only way they'd win that
Of course
is they
he's
have
not
to have
on here
an
today.
expert to come in.
It's okay. We can always disrupt it another day for doing it today. I do that all the time.
I'll offer through that small claims thing.
Okay, perfect. I'll tell her that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's me. I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. What is going on in your life? We love doing what we do live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Live on the iHeartRadio app. You can download us on iTunes. We're all over the damn place, and we help people. If you had to sum this up, we help people. We don't piss you off with politics and everything else. We just get to helping people. And I'll tell you, we're going to have to help our neighbors in California. There will be so many ripoffs, you cannot count them when it comes to rebuilding after this fire. Oh, my goodness gracious. This hour brought to you by Rocky's 63rd and Federal, used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. As a consumer advocate, you may wonder what the hell I'm doing with commercials. Well, we check out people, and we own it. We know we can't exist without sponsorship, so we do it another way. We own it. We say, you know what, if we must have commercials, then let's control them. And that's what we do. Rocky, 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7. And by the way, they are open today. Even with snow, you can go ride around in a golf cart, stay warm, and they have all the cars clearly marked. They have financing on the spot, 40 lenders. They can originate loans. 303-426-4646, 63rd and Federal, Rockies. Now, what else do we have going on? We have a lot going on. We have a show where you call and we help. You call, we help. It's that easy. That's the formula. 303-713-TALK. And you can always find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on everywhere you want to find us. And we also have, I posted something on Facebook and YouTube that pissed me off over the weekend. I just couldn't believe it, but I'm going to say this in a nutshell, then go to the phones. I'm going to lay this out. When you have a phony charge on your card and you notice there's some unauthorized charges, Suzanne, what's the first thing you do?
You call and inquire, Tom.
Okay, what do they do? What do you do if you have unauthorized charges?
Dispute it.
And then what?
Cancel your card.
What do? They send you what?
New card.
Exactly. But has everyone done that? Have you ever done that? You cancel the card, you get a new one. Jay Bretz, XL Roofing, you're here as a guest.
Morning, Tom.
Have you done that before?
Absolutely, everybody
Okay.
has.
Well, I noticed this was a while ago, and then it happened again, so I went on YouTube. We had a company that claimed they had a contract with us. Right, Mark? They were charging us every month.
Salesforce.
Okay, you don't mind saying it then. Okay. Well, anyway, in fact, listen, they charge us so much money, I was going after them. That's another story. But here's the deal. It doesn't just happen with Salesforce, but if anyone, now listen carefully, if anyone uses your card fraudulently for a recurring charge, or they have your old card's information, right? Now you get a new card. Wouldn't you assume with a new card, what's going to happen? They'll shut off all those charges. Right?
Cancels the old card.
No. Let me tell you what happens. If the person who perpetrated the fraud, somebody says, I want Microsoft, or I want Salesforce, or I want Spotify, or I want Audible, I want this, and I put down your credit card, you dispute it, they take it off your bill, send you a new card. Guess what? If that person resubmits it, using the old card's information, not the new, the old one, the one that you canceled, they'll still put it through. You cannot cancel a recurring charge due to fraud. And here's what they tell you at Capital One. They say, well, how do we know it's fraud? I said, because they're using the old card, and I got a new card. And they say, well, but Spotify or Microsoft or so-and-so, they're submitting it. I said, yes, but the scammer is using that service with my card. They said, we have no choice, I swear to God, but to honor that charge.
So what do you do?
The only thing you can do, and I think this goes for all credit cards, the only thing you can do is cancel everything. I don't just mean cancel the cards and get new ones. You must close the account and simply say goodbye to Capital One. The Capital One, no, I've had them tell me this now 4 times, different operators. Here's what they say. If there is a recurring charge, or not even, if they use your card 6 months after you canceled it and get a brand new recurring charge, if it comes from a vendor and they say you have a contract with them, they don't ask anything. They put the charge through on your new card. Now, how can you possibly do that? The only way you can stop it is if that old card expires. In other words, the old card expires. Wrong. Because if the old card expires, they will issue a new card for them to use. If all they have to say is, we have a recurring charge with you, and they will keep it going. See, Microsoft is reputable. Spotify is reputable. Salesforce is reputable. So they assume if that charge is put through with the old card, they must have a contract with you. They don't ask to see it. They don't ask. They don't verify. They simply put it through. If you've ever had a charge on your credit card and you cancel and get a new card, it will not help you with recurring charges. I don't mean old recurring charges. I mean even new ones. In other words, if they take that card and go out and buy a brand new Audible 6 months after you canceled that card, if they go out and buy a brand new Audible or they sign up for any kind of recurring charge, they will put the charge through. They will put it through. Capital One does not protect you. I don't know what I can do to get this word out because you assume you're protected. And I look back and I have been being charged for years because I didn't notice it. Think about that. You know, do you like the idea of paying $10.95? Oh, Mark, there was another one. These people charged us $198. This is info, please. And then $90 a month, $98 a month, claiming that we have a contract with them. We don't. Okay, I canceled that card. Guess what? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't know if this pisses people off, but it pisses me off. Why doesn't it piss you off, Mark?
It does piss me off.
No, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting. I think everyone in the country believes when they get a new card, the old card is shut down. It is not. It is shut down for single purchases. If they went to Starbucks, it wouldn't be honored. If they went to Walmart, it wouldn't be honored. But if they sign up for a recurring charge of any kind, it doesn't even have to be pre-existing before your card was canceled. If they have your canceled credit card and you canceled it, they go to Starbucks that day and they say, oh crap, they found out about it. So the card I put on my Starbucks account, they stopped. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and sign up for Audible or Microsoft One or Microsoft Word. They'll honor it. Recurring charges are honored even after credit cards are canceled. Now, I hope it matters. I hope I save people trouble. Betty, what do you need help with? A foreclosure. What is going on?
This all started back in 2009, but we'll jump to 2010. A company came in and purchased because of past HOA dues. They purchased my house at a sheriff's sale.
Okay, so you actually let your home go to foreclosure because of back HOA fees.
What actually happened was in 2009, I got paperwork from the courts, from the HOA, saying that I owed the past dues. I had lost my job and was unemployed, and that was the one bill.
But Betty, is that a correct statement, that you let your home go into foreclosure due to past HOA dues?
Yes, but I didn't know they were foreclosing on it because I filed bankruptcy. I thought that I was protected under bankruptcy.
Oh, I get it. Do you know why you weren't, Betty? Did anyone explain that to you?
They did not.
Okay, I want to explain it because people need to know this, Betty. Let's just say you have accumulated, well, tell us, how much was it? How much did you accumulate in past dues?
It was $10,000.
Okay, let's say you accumulate.
With the lawyer fees.
Let's say you accumulate $10,000, and now you do a bankruptcy. You are relieved from personal liability on the $10,000. But Mark, that $10,000, she no longer personally owes.
That is correct.
But what happens?
Well, it attaches to the property.
So, did the bankruptcy remove that from the property?
Nope.
It removed it from her personal liability.
But it sticks with the property.
And not only sticks, but keeps increasing with penalty.
A lot of people fall into that.
So, Betty, you thought it went away, didn't you?
I did think it went away.
Okay, now
Absolutely.
here's the important thing. Were you still living in the condo?
Yes.
And were you paying current fees?
Yes.
So you started paying your current fees. When was the bankruptcy discharged? That means,
In
by the way, that means approved, even though it sounds like it doesn't.
January 2010.
In 2010. Okay, January. So then when was your house sold?
In September of 2000, it was at a sheriff's sale. I didn't know
Wait,
this was
September of
taking place.
2000?
10.
Oh,
2010.
wait. Oh, okay. So right after your bankruptcy in 2010, in December, it was sold, but you got no notification whatsoever.
It was sold in October of 2000, or I mean, September of 2010. And here's the very unfortunate position. I lost my mailbox key for a couple of months.
Okay.
I paid
God
everything
almighty.
online.
All right. Anyway,
They
here's
were
the
sending
bottom
me
line.
information.
You do understand at this point, so we don't waste time. They
Sorry.
probably legally acquired your property because
Correct.
because they're allowed to foreclose on a lien. That lien was on the condo, not on you. So hold on. Let's see what we can do to help you. I want everyone to understand, if you are facing bills right now attached to your property, bankruptcy will not take them off of your property if it's already been liened. It will only relieve you from personal responsibility and liability. If, however, you file a bankruptcy before they file a lien, you can be saved, except for HOA, because HOAs are automatically liens.
Super liens.
And loans are automatically liens. And taxes are automatically liens. But not everything is an automatic lien. If you had, for example, a doctor bill, and that doctor bill was not paid, and you do a bankruptcy, they cannot go against your home. But if they went against your home already and filed a lien, and then you do a bankruptcy, they still have a lien on your home, even though they can't go after you personally. I know this gets rather complicated, but that's why we're here, for you. Buy and Build is also here for you. If you're doing a do-it-yourself project, you won't ever beat those prices. Wholesale, no, below wholesale. Cabinets, beautiful cabinets. Countertop material, they have plumbing fixtures, and they have lighting fixtures, and they have wonderful flooring, hardwood, laminate, engineered, vinyl. Go to Buy and Build, 4800 Washington Street yourself, or send your contractor. Contractors go there. They know they beat the hell out of the big boxes. And Buy and Build is a big box, a big, ugly box with tons of wonderful, wonderful thrills when it comes to deals, but no frills when it comes to decorating. 4800 Washington Street, buyandbuild.net.
Clint,
Yeah.
so here's this.
So this is the one I was talking about on Friday.
I know. You have an update for you on this.
So she's been living in there.
So you might want to
This
sneak
is
out.
the adverse possession. She's been living in it and paying, she paid HOA dues for a little
What I
while.
normally
And then they told her, you know, we can't accept it, you don't own the property.
Yeah, he seems like.
From you. So they've been, she's been paying taxes, she's been paying the house payment. For how long? Since 2010.
No way.
Yes.
So she,
Yes.
wait a minute. She hasn't lived there in 8 years.
No, she's living there. She's lived there since then. She never moved out.
left to this break, sir?
After it was sold, she never moved out. Mark, 2000. The tax sale. It wasn't tax sale, it was a sheriff auction for the HOA in 2010.
Because I know it right away. So hold on. So for 8 years, she's been living there. No one's kicked her out.
Right.
But she definitely does not own the house.
Correct.
Who has she been paying?
She's been paying the bank, the mortgage.
Is that the original mortgage holder?
Yes, yes.
So she's continued to pay her mortgage.
Correct. And the taxes, and the utilities, everything.
And insurance.
And insurance, everything except for the HOA dues. And now, another thing came out, they're having another sheriff auctions because the person who bought it didn't pay the HOA dues. This is so screwy. So, are you familiar with tax sales? If you don't pay your taxes, then it sounds like somebody bought the title like that. But then the mortgage company still keeps getting the payments and all of that stuff, so they don't care. And so whoever bought the title, it's their option to evict the person and take possession of the property.
But they didn't do it.
Why? Why bother? I don't know if the person there is continuing to make the mortgage payments.
Well, but they must have their own.
So one reason is they would have had to do the mortgage payment, right? So they bought it for like $12,000. You know, of course they're going to have the mortgage payment. But she's saying she's been 8 years. She's been paying the taxes.
She's been paying down that first mortgage too. No matter what, that bank would have a lien for whatever's left on that mortgage.
Right.
So that person who bought the tax sale would still have to pay off that first.
Correct.
At some point. So he or she has just been letting that dwindle down over the years.
But why would she get
And she's basically paying rent.
Right, but also taxes.
Today is the day you break the stranglehold.
So would that be, she's asking, what about adverse possessions? 8 years she's been doing this.
If you are someone you know is
I don't think it's adverse possession.
Why isn't she paying the taxes? She's taking care of the house. She's doing everything on that.
Well, first of all, it's not long enough. Adverse possession is what, 15 years?
Oh, I thought it was 7.
Call the Raleigh House.
Okay, I think it's 15 years. And second of all, a lot of rulings now, you have to pay for the property. So therefore, she'd be paying the value of the property anyhow. A lot of that has changed in the last 5 or 6 years. It used to be if you were there 15, 20 years, you might get that sliver of land for free. Her family was taken when she was 14 and killed the Mojave by the Mojave people. That's a tattoo they would give white slaves.
Listen to this. Colorado statutes define their statute for adverse possession, the statutory period as being 18 years, or 7 years if the adverse possessor under a good faith claim and color of title was paying taxes on the possessed real property.
You know what? It's fucking, she could have a claim.
Well, but she's been paying everything, so she should have a claim.
Well,
but she needs a good
Well,
attorney.
how much was her mortgage payment, though? There's a few things to look at.
Everything together was $900 a month.
What's to look for, Mark?
You can't, well,
She wasn't paying mortgage.
She was.
she was paying
a mortgage.
She was
Yes,
paying down
yes.
the first mortgage.
She's never let the mortgage go. She's never let taxes
Somebody
go.
bought a tax lien up.
No. HOA do.
That's a sheriff's thing, kind of like a tax. A tax thing.
Wait a minute. The lender never stepped in.
Because she never
No,
paid.
right. She never.
No, but the lender never stepped in.
So whoever owns the property is basically just getting that first mortgage brought down.
No, but you understand, the person, if I understand this correctly, the person who bought the super lien is in first position even before lenders lose
But
their
they
right.
quit paying.
They quit paying the HOA dues. They owe like $6,000. The super liens. The super
Whoever
liens,
bought
right.
it, yeah.
He quit paying that recall.
But I would,
So it can be foreclosed again.
There's a sheriff's sale coming up in January.
Again.
Well,
But her question is, she's been paying the mortgage for
but she
8 years.
still has to file a claim.
She needs a lawyer for this adverse possession.
I don't
She's
think
been
more than that.
She's been paying taxes.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Get to IntegraInsurance.com. You need them. It's open enrollment until January 15th. That means health insurance. The good news now is you're not forced to go to the exchange. You can go outside of the exchange. Now, listen, I'm not going to debate what's better, the exchange or outside the exchange, but I don't have to worry. Because when it comes to choosing health insurance, I just make health insurance simple and smart. You know how? By not doing it. I say to Integra, take care of me, find the best deal, let me know. 303-466-5500. Now, I started Medicare, but they still help me. They have supplements. They can help you with Medicaid even. They will help you with anything to do with health coverage. 303-466-5500. 466-5500. There's no reason not to use them. You must use them. IntegraInsurance.com. Jay Bretz is with us from Excel Roofing. And Jay, feel free to chime in. It's an apropos time. Do you do roofers do repairs right through the winter?
Absolutely, all the time. I want to go back to something else you were saying, Tom, about advertisers and the referral list and all that.
Yeah.
Do you remember the original reason why you started referral list, I haven't heard you talk about it for a while.
Because people were pissed at me.
Well, people were using your name.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm buddies with Tom, and Tom recommends us, and it was BS.
Yeah, I know.
And so you said, you know what? I'm just going to have an official.
I got to formalize it.
I'm going to have an official list of all the people that I'd really do recommend.
Right.
And so here it is.
I mean, I used to just say, hey, so-and-so's a good plumber, and then the guy turned out to be a bum, and I thought, hey, why'd you do that to me? Because you did a good job for me. And I thought, you know what? My recommendation means something. I better protect it. So let's talk about this deal. Wait until you hear this. This problem with Betty is very complicated, but I'm going to simplify it. Betty declared bankruptcy on back HOA dues. So they sold her townhome in like a tax sale, but it was an HOA sale. So an investor bought it. But she still lived there. She paid all the new HOA fees, or not, for a while. And she paid her mortgage, and she continued, and taxes, and continued living there from 2010, and she's still there today.
Well, when you say taxes, that was built into her mortgage payment, correct?
All right, Betty, so you paid your mortgage and your taxes. Did you ever stop paying your mortgage?
Never. I still pay it to this day.
So you're still paying taxes and you're still paying mortgage. To this day, since 2010, even though an investor owns the home. Who's the investor?
Quantumonics.
It's called Quantum what?
Quantumonics.
Quantumonics. Quantumonics. Now, here's the weirdest thing in the world. You've never heard of They've never contacted you or anything, did they?
In October of 2010, he knocked on my door.
And what did he say?
He said, "This is my house. You need to leave."
And then what?
And I said, I filed for bankruptcy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about
And by the way, he was right. You should have left, but you didn't. Okay, so then what?
He said, he purchased it for 12. He wanted to sell it to me back for 20. I didn't have 20. I've never heard from him since.
Okay. Weird. Now, here's the weirdest part.
He was getting nothing but benefit all these years because he would have had to buy out that first position, and it's been going down for 8 years.
He does not have to buy out that first position. Mark,
they would have the first lien on it, whatever bank she's been paying.
No, because HOAs come first. It's the super lien, I think. Now, hold on. I think.
Well, he bought the super lien.
I know. I think HOAs come before.
Yeah, but that was my point. Is that's only 12 grand or whatever that happened to be. After that, that first mortgage is still there.
They have to pay. I believe they have to pay him.
No, I think they just bought off the second position, and then he was going to foreclose. And he did foreclose.
Who bought off the second position?
Whoever the Quantumonics is or whoever they were.
They bought the HOA lien.
Yeah, that's right. They bought that. I'm saying they would still have to buy off that first mortgage.
I don't know. I'm not arguing because I don't know. I thought, Mark, here's what I thought. I thought an HOA lien goes even before the first mortgage. But let's check with Wink and find out.
It probably does go before, but they still have to pay off that other position.
Not necessarily. When you're in first position, if they're in first position, it's the second position that has to buy you out. If you foreclose on a first, Mark, you don't have to pay any subsequent owners at all, or lien holders, because you're in first. The second has a chance to buy you out. The third has a chance to buy everybody out. In fact, it's the one with the most junior lien that has the last chance.
Let's get Wink on.
Yeah, but you do understand, though. Let's just say a regular mortgage. Let's just say it's a regular mortgage, and they foreclose, and you have a second, third, and a fourth.
You'd have to go in and bid that.
No,
You'd have to go in and actually buy yourself out.
No, when you have a first mortgage.
Yeah.
If I'm a bank and I foreclose on you.
Yep.
With the first mortgage.
Yep. And let's say it's $200,000.
Right. And there are 3 mortgages behind that.
Yep.
I don't have to pay them off.
No, but they, I believe, have the ability to bid more. Yeah, to pay you off.
Exactly.
In other words, they have that chance.
Right. That's right. But the first...
And I think the same would go with this. In other words, Wells Fargo or whoever her mortgage holder was would have had the opportunity.
That's right.
But apparently that never happened, so therefore it still sits there.
No. So my question is, if you buy an HOA lien, are you in first position automatically because it's a super lien? If you are, that's an incredible deal. But we're getting away from Betty's problem. And Betty's problem is a simple one right now. She's been living there since 2010 paying all the bills, and she has a very important question. Oh, by the way, when did you stop paying HOA again?
It would have been somewhere about 2011 because they wouldn't take my money because I wasn't Quantumonics.
Okay, so they would not take your money. Now, you do understand that the HOA has a super lien again against that property and can foreclose again.
But it really doesn't seem to affect her.
No, but listen, so even if you did have squatter's rights or adverse possession rights, even if you did, you still have to pay off the HOA. You know, I believe you could have an adverse possession action, which is crazy, because you adversely, and you did, you told them to get out. You literally, you are the definition of adverse possession. You took the home adversely, you stayed there openly, you paid taxes, you maintained it, you did everything. I mean, honest to God, Betty, you have some kitty-owns. I mean, you really did this deal. What's the word, you know? You adversely possessed it. But here's the problem. In order to do an adverse possession, to take control of that again, you don't have the money to pay off the super lien, do you?
Not in this position.
So what good is it going to do? It's not going to do you any good. What's the value of this condo?
It could be $320.
What is it? To be honest, like I don't mean you're being dishonest, but what truly is it worth if it was sold right now?
Well, the guy across
not what it could be.
The person across the street sold for $320.
So let's
That's
say
all I'm going by.
Let's say $300. Now, how much do you owe on the first?
100,000.
100. Do you have a second or a third?
No.
How much is due on the HOA right now?
$6,037.
6,000. Okay, so basically, for $6,000, you already have the mortgage. For $6,000, you could buy your home back. Well, you can buy that super lien back.
It might not be for sale.
No, on the super lien.
Well, the new super lien.
If she goes to auction, she can bid it. Except, here's the problem. Somebody will outbid you. Okay, this is very complicated, but we need to talk to a bankruptcy attorney. Hello, can we get her on? Or him? 303-713-TALK. This is very complicated. If anyone wants to weigh in, weigh in. I want to tell you about a deal with a car repair shop, Budget A1, that I simply can't believe. I'm just going to lay it out. You call Budget for details, but there is no downside. Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair, Mark Machowski. He's an old-fashioned shop. Basically, he is. He'll look over the car and give you 1 hour of free diagnostics, tell you what's wrong with it. No obligation. He is so kind to people, and Scott over there is a great guy. But here's the deal. You want to hear this? Right now, they got tired of people not wanting to mess with their transmission because of the unknown. So Budget said this: if you would repair if you think you're going to repair the transmission, you're not obligated, but if you really want to go ahead, we're going to tear it down free and give you a complete, accurate diagnosis free. Free. If you decide not to get it fixed, we're not going to charge you. In fact, if you want to go somewhere else and get it fixed, we're not going to charge you. That's it. Free. Tear down and inspection of a transmission. It's unbelievable. Then they went one step further. If you already have a bid, an estimate, they will guarantee to beat it by, what, 10% or $250, whichever saves you the most money. How do you go wrong with Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth, 303-781-9858? There's no reason, if you have a transmission with any problem, you shouldn't be ringing that number right now, 781-9858, 781-9858.
Federal holidays, don't get your hopes up. They're going to get a bunch of attorneys today.
But we can call ourselves.
Yeah.
She'll answer.
First is 100K.
I love
First super
Girl
lien
from Volunteers
is
of America. They have a swell
and
fund
not
program, which
12 plus
pairs
fucking interest,
people
right?
up with seniors in their neighborhood to shovel
I think it was
for them.
12 with the
That's
For senior citizens who can't shovel. They have 337 seniors on the wait list and only 44 volunteers. So can we get this whole year? Here's the only question. She said the easiest way to get anyone interested in touch is by emailing her, but I wonder if they should, our email's a lot easier, help@troubleshooter.com, and I forward them to
Now,
her.
there's going to be
Hers is
another
T. Harris
another
at
super
voacolorado.com.
What?
We're going to give out our email
regardless of how
address.
much.
Okay. So, I
Which
love this.
super
So
lien
here
comes
that
first?
is.
If there's two super liens, which one comes first?
The new lien has dropped off.
Oh, because he bought it.
Right.
He bought that.
Mark suggested trying to get an attorney on that knows about adverse possession as well. Do you want me to do
If you
that?
can get Bob, that'd be great. But
You
I
gotta be good, boy.
Bob Hoban, he's
He's
our
a,
marijuana
that's what he
attorney.
does.
He's on marijuana.
I would love to be on.
But
But no, definitely, I want
Yeah,
to
man. Yeah, he's
Okay.
fine to play.
He went from, all he did was adverse possession,
Super liens?
and then as soon as the marijuana business started getting legal, he saw it before all these other attorneys and jumped into it.
Good for him.
He helped me out with adverse
Got your
possession
new bag?
for
New
my
stash?
glorious. Yeah.
Well, I've been
So,
hanging
but-
on to it for a long time.
So now this new lien comes up for
We were
$6
supposed to
grand.
have a common man today.
These Quantum is the one that should buy it. That's who should buy it.
But this whole adverse possession, I tell you what, I agree, she's gotta, by just keeping on paying taxes.
It's amazing she's lived there.
Oh, absolutely.
But if he was smart, which I'm assuming they were, it might have been the best thing ever.
Maybe.
Because 2010 was probably the cheapest that house will ever be.
But that was 8 years ago.
I know, probably the cheapest, so it's probably doubled in equity as far as price, and she's knocking down the first floor for free, and she's paying the taxes.
Right.
It sounds like he never retitled it. Because when he bought the first super lien, normally if you wanted to take possession of the property, you'd retitle it.
He'd buy out the first.
So that first lien is probably sitting there on title.
I think it has to be till they pay it out. There's
Yeah,
no way it
it's
just
probably
becomes
sitting-
yours.
So it's amazing he hasn't.
No one would lend money.
But it's amazing that he hasn't enforced his lien, because what you're saying, because the value of the property undoubtedly now.
If he enforced his lien, he'd still have to buy out.
Yeah, he'd have to buy out.
But why would he when she's paying it down for him each month?
Because that way he could get full title on the property that's worth twice as much now as it was before.
Yeah, but why not let him, why not keep paying down the first?
Yeah.
And then whenever you want to convert it, it's a top of the market, then do it.
So she's supposed to, I
She
believe
pro-
January is the sheriff's sale.
Well, there's some other screwy part of the deal that he didn't make sure that they didn't make sure.
And I think on a tax lien is the only way those other liens drop off, Tom. I don't think on an outside lien like this. I think if you buy a tax lien, you're right. If they don't pay it back in the 3 years or whatever it is, I think you can literally take the property without paying off any other liens.
Taxes and HOA, I thought were.
I don't think HOA works that way.
I don't know. I heard, that's what I want to know. What is a super lien?
Because why would any bank in their right mind
Not
not build the HOA
Mark,
into the damn
You're
thing?
right, you're right. But I thought I remember hearing it's a super lien.
It is a super lien, meaning in a bankruptcy, it doesn't, what they owed prior, all of it doesn't fall off. Unlike other things, it would fall off.
No liens fall off in a bankruptcy.
No, what I'm saying is, if they owe $1,000, okay, that $1,000 they're still gonna owe, even if they didn't put the lien on. I think the HOA can go on afterwards.
No, Mark.
You don't think so?
No, I know that.
There is something with the super lien.
Chapter 7 dismisses HOA liens against you personally.
Against you personally, but not against the property.
Right.
But that goes the same with any lien.
That's right.
So then what's this, why is it a super lien?
Here's why. I think, that's what I want to find
That's
out.
not, it's not, I know
think
there's no way.
because it goes first. I think, after that other day with that guy, I'm not going to say I'm positive, but I fucking think it goes first.
So I think she did a 7, but her lawyer didn't tell her that these would drop off the property. Her bankruptcy attorney
Didn't tell her it would.
We should
would
be able to
not,
find the answer to this.
We're checking with our bankruptcy attorneys. I have to take other calls. And Tiffany has a call that we need to get right out. Tiffany Harris is one of our friends over. Haven't we had Tiffany in?
No, Tom,
oh, no?
we haven't.
But haven't we had people from VOA on the show before? Or was
Not
that
I know of.
Then it was the center. It was the other one. We had another nonprofit. But I'd like to get VOA also on a regular basis to tout themselves.
Absolutely.
Volunteers of America, very simple organization, nonprofit. And they volunteer to help people. I mean, how do you get better than that? So Tiffany said they have a problem and they want our help. Tiffany, explain what the problem is.
Well, we have a Snow Buddies program, which we're in desperate need of volunteers. What they do is they help seniors that are over 60 years old, and they go out and they shovel their walkways and driveways for them when we get over 2 inches of snow.
So if you are over 60 and you need help shoveling snow, these people do it for free?
They do. They do it for free, and you have 24 hours to get out there once we get over 2 inches of snow.
Isn't that wonderful? So
you're over 60. You could get yours shoveled for free.
I know, but I'm assuming that, and again, I don't want to add a level of controversy. I'm assuming only people who truly need it are going to ask for it, and I'm sure that's what you find, Tiffany.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, so here's the deal. You have how many people on a list?
We have over 300 seniors on a wait list at this point.
And how many volunteers?
At the moment, I have 44 volunteers that are matched with 57 seniors.
Okay, so we need help. We need help with people who want to volunteer to do seniors. Now, where do you need the help? Is it like, do you want just everyone to volunteer and you'll worry about where they go? Or tell me about that.
That's probably the easiest thing. We do handle 5 different counties: Adams, Arapahoe, Denver, Douglas, and Jefferson counties. And we have seniors in basically all of those counties.
Okay, so that's what we keep in mind.
Tom,
don't worry
they match
about
volunteers up with folks in their neighborhood.
Exactly.
Right.
So don't worry about where you're from. If you're in the entire metro area, Volunteers of America will match you with seniors who need your help. Once you're matched, Tiffany, can we sign up to do it more, like whenever there's a snowstorm, in other words?
What happens is you sign up and we do a background check on you, and then we match you with a client that is within a couple of miles of your home, and that is who you handle, or as many of them as you would like for the entire season.
Okay, well, that's a great idea. That is a great idea. So we have people right now who need shoveling, and if you ever want to do something for people, Volunteers of America will make sure your efforts are utilized. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to give out, just for efficiency's sake, Tiffany, we're going to give out our our email. It's easy, help@troubleshooter.com, and we'll just forward everything to you. Okay?
Sounds wonderful.
And that's help@troubleshooter.com to be part of the Snow Buddy program for Volunteers of America. Tiffany, thank you for everything you do. We are starting a nonprofit. Do we have the nonprofit section of the referral list up and running yet? We're starting to do that. Mark, we don't have that up and running. Daphne was working on it, right?
Slowly.
Yeah, we're going to get nonprofits on.
We've got some.
That we will definitely vet to make sure they're good people. Now, you want me to take David. Okay, David, welcome. What's going on with you, David? David?
Yeah.
How can I help you?
My Social Security. I'm having problems with my Social Security.
What is the problem?
They say I'm faking all of this, and they say I don't qualify for my Social Security.
How old are you, David?
60 years old.
Okay, so we're talking.
I've been fighting that for over 2 years. I got pain in my hips and my knees and stuff like that.
David?
I can't work no more.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we're talking about Social Security disability, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when did you say you first went on it?
I was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I tried to apply for it, and they said I'm faking all this stuff.
So wait a minute.
Faking all of it.
When were you approved for SSDI?
I was not approved at all.
Oh, okay. That's what you're calling about, because you can't get approved.
Right. They said I'm faking all this stuff.
Well, I don't know if they say you're faking it, David. They might say it does.
They said I looked at my lawyer. He said I'm faking it. And last year, I went to their doctors, if I was in rehab for 2 weeks last year for physical rehab, and I went to their doctors and they said I'm faking it and stuff like that.
Okay, well, what if they said this? Now, I'm not saying this is the case, but just out of curiosity, if they said, David, we realize you have pain and it's probably terrible, but it's not enough to get disability, total disability, is it the part? Is what you are you just pissed off because they say you're faking it, or is it because you want to get disability?
No, I'm really faking it, and I also fell down last year in August this year. I got a lifeline. I fell down, caught the back of my head. I had to get 9 staples back of my head. I'm always falling down.
You do understand, just so you know, you do understand that it's extremely difficult to get SSDI, right? You do understand
right.
it. Okay. And a lot of people who seemingly are totally disabled to us do not get it, but it's not because they're faking it. They just don't qualify. And I think you're hearing that I don't think they're actually saying we think this guy is faking, because they don't normally make those determinations.
I had a hearing October 11th. I went to the hearing about lawyers.
And what did they? And did anyone at the hearing say you?
They canceled it. They called it. Look, me on the deal and went to them. And they said they canceled it.
You have an attorney. You have an attorney representing you, right?
Right.
Well, what does your attorney say?
They're still trying to work on it, find out what's going on.
That's what you have to do. It's very difficult. Do you know that automatically people are normally turned down the first time? It's policy. The first time, how many were you just turned down the first time?
No, this is the second time.
You've actually applied twice?
Yes.
How far apart were the applications?
I don't know. My lawyers are taking all of it.
Who is your attorney?
Boston Law.
Do you mind if we talk to your attorney? Because, David, you know, we're really not going to get anywhere talking to you, because here's the deal. You say you're turned down, and we say, okay, it's difficult. You say they say you're faking. But without talking to your attorney, we don't know if this is a special case where you're being discriminated against or what's going on. We need to talk to your attorney on the air. I would like someone from his office, or her office, give us authority to do that, okay? That's the only way we're going to get somewhere. Barbara wants to know if she can take some scammers to small claims court for stem cell. We'll talk about that coming up. And we'll talk more about that other problem, 303-713-TALK. The other problem with the super lien. This woman has been living in that place, paying all the bills, and now she's facing another sale because of unpaid HOA dues. Ideal home loans for your next ideal home loan. I don't say that lightly. If you need a home loan for a brand new home, after finding Frank Duran, the real estate man, to do all of that work, then what you need is Ideal Home Loans. In fact, I suggest you get a pre-approval from them. It's like a cash deal when you're shopping. And if you're refinancing, by all means go with them. Whether you buy or refinance, if rates go down over the next 2 years, you do not lose out. They will refinance you free of charge. That's 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Direct mortgage lenders at referralist.com. And as I said, Frank Duran, you will never do better than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. And you know why? Because you'll never be held to a long-term contract. If he doesn't satisfy you, you can cancel. But you know what? No one ever does. 303-920-1622.
If it's past 6 months, if it's 6 months of fees that they owe, okay, that makes it into a super loan if the HOA wants to do a super loan. If they do a super loan, or a lien, what happens is they have to contact the first or any mortgage, and they have basically the opportunity to pay off that. If they don't pay it off, then yes, they take the house. But anybody in first position is going to pay that off.
They didn't. Yeah, why didn't they?
Well, because someone bought that, lien, which got rid of the super.
They bought it at the foreclosure sale, Mark.
Yes.
But once you buy it, you're still a super lien.
I don't think it's a super lien now that someone else bought it. Now they're just a different position.
No, but if you buy it when it's in first position, why wouldn't you assume first position?
Because only the HOA basically can
Let's
have
find
the
that
super
out. That's the part I'm
Gigi's not answering these. Do you want me to
It's
just
no
let her
longer
go
a super
for now
lien.
and then
Now
get her
it's a
back
second
on?
position.
Yeah.
Because
Not
the
that I know
HOA is
of.
paid in full.
There are
So therefore now, whoever bought
Plus,
it
Tom,
needs
it's a
to go
federal
back
holiday. I
and
can't
then pay off
imagine
the first
this
mortgage in
I
order
mean,
to own
you
it.
know, I think that's part of the problem. So I was going to let her go until I got
But
Gigi
regardless,
back.
they made out like bandits.
But you put a word out.
Although when they foreclosed,
I texted Gigi. I can text Mike too. She's usually just the one that gets back to me.
no,
But
of
you want me
course
to let her
not.
go
Super
for now
liens
or
only
keep her
can be
helping?
HOA. Once the lien is no
And
longer
then
the
Clint
HOA.
said
so-
he can help David. So you want me to let
Which
David
makes
go for
sense.
now?
Now, it was interesting enough.
I was on it for 11 years. He's got to come through a number of hoops. He's got to be patient.
Okay, then third thing, really
One
good.
state, Nevada,
So, line one had his well
2015,
tested for the
did
water.
not have to
Here's the
notify
result, but
the
we
other
just had a guy
lenders,
sign up that
and that was
on the
found
referral list,
unconstitutional and it's changed in
environmental
Nevada.
testing.
That was the
I
only
sent him
state
the
that
report.
had
I was
super
gonna get
liens
him on as an
where they
expert
wouldn't
to
have
talk
to
about this
notify
report.
the
Okay.
first
What does
mortgage.
this guy want?
He says they sold
But
him
they
a home
do
with
now.
toxic water on a well. Because Clayton Homes sold him the property and the modified home. This is the
Why
report.
did they modify the home? Oh, okay. It was a new home with a.
And check your email. The kids are so cute, Mark. Check your email.
What's a modified home?
Should this home builder know that?
A manufactured home. Sorry,
Wait,
a
so
manufactured
they sold
home.
them the package.
They sold him the package, and if you guys checked it, Dan, did you see the kids? Oh my God! I think one's in a wheelchair. They're just adorable. But says his kids got sick. I sent you a picture of them. There it is.
Where is he?
The
Has he
picture
had
of
the
them.
water tested?
Look at those guys, Tom. Oh my gosh! Look at that face. I sent it to you, Dan at Troubleshooter. I think Jay wants to see. And then there's a picture of the water. Look at those guys, Jay. Oh my gosh.
I think they're both.
And if you scroll down, you can see the dirty water. That's.
What, he's got 2 of them in wheelchairs?
Oh my God! No, that's
Yeah.
Look at
No,
those
they are
babies.
two of them.
Oh, in wheelchair?
Man, that's a lot of kids.
Are you sure that's not just one of those playthings?
6 kids. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, look, it's got.
So Mark, we're not doing
They look like they're like every year.
Well, glad they're holding a baby yet.
We can do way better, but obviously,
I
want to start.
Is it toxic?
I want to Tom, do you remember, there was a lady up in Longmont one year at Christmas time when we were doing free roof thing, and we got talking to her, and her water was way browner than that, and what it was the water boiler, or the boiler for her house, it was rusted out or something, and that's what her drinking water was. So
We need a locksmith in
I forget which plumber, so we did a
Colorado
roof,
Springs.
and the plumber went in and redid it.
I've had a couple people asking.
You can have sometimes running water come up out of your well, too.
Yeah.
Is that well water?
In the springtime, I can
What's
get
that?
Yeah.
Water like traction on that video.
Which one?
Yeah, but
The one about.
I've seen it one.
why don't you put in a big water filter?
I mean,
I have a
here's
reverse osmosis for drinking.
not bad.
We put one of those big stack filters
Well,
that just sit
I
there
have
so the
given up
sediment
trying to
doesn't
figure out
mess
what
up
works.
the valve.
Oh, I got that too, yeah.
Because the toilet valve,
Yep.
tiniest
I've
speck.
done what you said.
Did that new Ford one do any good up on YouTube?
God, you can lose 2,000 gallons of water in a
It's
couple, 2
actually
days with that.
doing all right. Hold on, where is it here? No. 45 views in 5 days. It takes home.
Isn't that weird?
Mark, I didn't do a lot with it, but
They should have got it if it's a well.
I really am going with this.
Yeah.
simple
That's
shit.
automatic, they get it tested.
The septic has to be tested.
Right.
Tested so the well. That's part of the closing.
Yeah.
Why is Facebook not coming up?
Hey, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. IconEyeCare.com. If you go to IconEyeCare.com, you'll get answers for your eyes. They have the cheapest, best value LASIK in the business, and they are good at what they do. And of course, sometimes minor adjustments, LASIK is all you need, and LASIK is wonderful. By all means, if you need cataract surgery, Icon. If you have macular degeneration, Icon. If you have any kind of glaucoma, Icon, it's Icon. 866-GOT-ICON for all eye care. IconEyeCare.com. And of course, it's the home of the famous clear lens. If you need glasses and you're really tired of wearing glasses, you can get this new lens. and never need glasses again, never get cataracts, never, ever, ever need LASIK, ever. You just get these new lenses, and they focus totally like your eyes. 866-GOT-ICON, iconeyecare.com. Now, let's sum up what we're working on. Social Security disability, Clint's working on that off the air. We have this super lien issue. Betty's condo was foreclosed on once, and some investors bought it. But here's the crazy thing. These investors bought it at an HOA sale. Well, it's a public sale because of the HOA liens. And never once contacted her after the first time saying you got to move out. She didn't, and they never contacted her again, and they never paid any taxes, and they never paid any HOA dues. So it's about to be sold again. Betty, do we know, is Quantumonics the ones who bought your home at the HOA deficiency sale? Are they around? Because they must. What are they doing about your home being sold again, or their home being sold again? They're the owners. They stand to lose their investment, and they've sat on it for 8 years. Where are they?
That I'm not sure of.
Well, let's try to find. Listen, we're going to do this one step at a time. We have to find out what your rights are for this so-called adverse possession. It's the weirdest thing I've heard of. You stayed in your home after they foreclosed. You kept paying your mortgage. You kept paying taxes. Do you have an adverse possession claim? You possibly could. You told the guy you're not moving, and you didn't. That's adverse possession. So let's get rid of Betty right now and mark this as a follow-up. And the very first thing I want to do is try to find Quantumonics. Then I want to try to get an expert to address what a super lien is and how a super lien can literally supersede a mortgage. Now, Mark did some research and found out that they have to contact the lender and do what, Mark?
Yeah, if it's past 6 months, the HOA can put a super lien on.
And they have to contact lenders and tell them.
That's right. So once that super lien's on, they have to give the first and the second, if there is a second mortgage company, the opportunity to buy that position out. Or they can literally foreclose.
And if they foreclose, they own it, and it's not subject to those loans.
That if it's a super lien, that's right. But no one in their right mind wouldn't buy out that position.
But in this position, they didn't buy it out, Mark. They let Quantumonics buy it.
Yeah, but Quantumonics doesn't have a super lien.
No.
The super lien converted to probably a normal second after they purchased it.
We're assuming we don't know that. Here's the question.
Only an HOA can have a super lien.
Folks, here's the question. If you buy a super lien, do you get super lien rights? Or, as Mark says, does it convert to a regular lien? It seems to me if you buy a super lien, why wouldn't it remain a super lien? Hold on.
I don't know. I mean, like if you buy a super
That's all I do then.
You know, you might know about all this
start
with
buying
Frank Durant.
Yeah.
You don't think Frank would know about?
Frank knows nothing about the law like that. He doesn't.
About
And
titles?
he is so. First of all, he's a wonderful man, but he is so tentative about saying anything because he doesn't want to get in trouble. I mean, he is so conservative.
Just like me.
No, he just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get in trouble and take a position. This is crazy, and it is a good.
I don't think we want to try to get a hold of Quantumonics to give them a heads up on it.
I couldn't find anything on it.
Well, I did find something.
What?
What is it? What kind of company is it?
It's a
about Brett
very
Iverson?
generic webpage.
Brett Iverson. Do you think he would know about liens and titles?
Called it that.
I don't think he would know. Wait.
He might, because they might have been holding property at some point where someone filed.
Title companies.
I mean,
do we have a relationship with any title companies? Title companies would know about super liens, all of it. They know everything.
Brent might actually.
Ask Brent. Is she there?
I got somebody.
You know why he might? Because they might have been in the position they were.
But here's the deal. Hold on. Here's the deal. Brent can refer us to a title company. That would be better.
I know somebody in title company. It wouldn't matter if it's Arizona, though, does it?
Yeah, it matters.
I don't know if they're a super lien state. Half
I don't want to mess with it, okay? I don't want to mess with it.
So, she needs to get a lawyer.
I know, but I want to get.
Well, it might not be worth their time, though. We don't know.
I don't think it is.
So a lawyer said he would take it. He thought he would have possible adverse possession.
Strike by water expert. He couldn't. He doesn't do that.
Suzanne, could you get?
But maybe I'll loan her that. and then
Ask
for
Brent
her
Iverson
equity in
if they
the.
have a referral at a title company that can talk about super liens.
Or any of our BK people, even outside of Wink, right?
I know.
We don't have any.
I
Well,
can't
really,
believe we
all we
don't
have
have
is
any
Wink.
bankruptcy.
Oh, wait, how about,
Noise does bankruptcy.
Noise? Hold on, let me look.
He's been with us a long time.
We've got a couple.
We do, but you're missing it. It's a
It's-
federal holiday.
Yeah, we don't.
So I can try.
You're saying you don't have their cell phones.
No, we have Wink Snow.
We have Winks for sure. I wonder if Kranak, did he ever do BKs?
He doesn't know about it. He'll just go on, but he'll want to go on. That's the problem.
He's like Jay.
On and on. When Dominic was going to come on the other day, I told him, you got to get right to the point. Right to the point.
Oh, great. Mike,
Jake's got a better vehicle.
Oh, sweet.
Jake's got a better. This guy.
Who?
Has a better vehicle.
Oh, God.
He went out there.
I had to jump start him one time. I was.
Kranak is funny.
Who'd you have to jump start?
Mark Kranak. He drove his beater in here for the show. I forget if it was snowing or what. And
It was a beater, huh?
it was. I was like, holy moly.
I had this dude stop me in a ski parking lot one time. He said, you got jumper cables? Because I'm in, a big truck and all that. I'm like, no, because he had a beater. And he's like, how come you don't have jumper cables? I'm like,
How come you don't?
I'm like, you're the one driving the
You're the one that needs them.
Nothing beats my story about a guy
that's the best.
that worked for us. And he was doing we were trying to train him to do what Deputy Dan does.
Just couldn't handle it.
And then he said, he said he needs extra work. I could hire him to help me move. Not move, I moved, set up my bed and stuff. I had movers move at the condo. So he didn't show up. And I called him and I said, where are you? And he says, I'm waiting for a guy with jumper cables. My battery's dead. And I said, okay, fine. When will he be there? He says, I don't know. And I said, what do you mean? He says, well, I'm sitting on the curb and I'm just waiting for anyone who comes in. And I said, what do you mean? He says, well, I'm waiting to see if anybody comes to the
Stops and
parking lot.
asks
And then
if I need jumper cables.
And then I'm going to ask if they have jumper cables. I said, you're just going to wait for someone to pull into the parking lot, and you're going to ask them, do they have jumper cables?
Instead of going out and asking.
But he's sitting waiting.
I thought he was sitting in the car.
I swear to God.
Then he hired him. The guy finally gets over there to help him put together his bed. And Tom sends and says, my toolbox is in the other room. Go grab me a screwdriver. Right?
There's only 2 screwdrivers, a Phillips and a regular one.
So he goes into the other room.
And he yells back to me, which one do you want?
Oh, I thought he came back.
He came all the way back. He didn't even. He goes into the other room, comes back in, and says, there's 2. Which one do you want?
Now, I'm thinking,
you're hired.
Why wouldn't you just pick up both of them?
Or the whole toolbox.
I think the
You were so flabbergasted. He couldn't stop talking about that for like a week. He was still scratching his head going, I've never in my life.
No, when you meet stupid people, it's hard.
Just when you think you've heard the dumbest shit in the world.
I think I've seen him on the corner. Says we'll work for food and jumper cables.
We'll work for jumper cables. But that one would.
I thought he was sitting in the car waiting to see someone.
Actually, it was worse.
I don't know.
He was like sitting on his patio or somewhere. He was in the apartment complex. And after he tells me, I called him up because I think Tom's like, not hearing him right. I'm like, there's no one that's sitting waiting for someone to ask them if they need jumper cables. I'm thinking maybe he's got his hood up.
Guys, Facebook is down. Try to get Facebook.com. Go ahead. Try to get Facebook.com right now. Facebook, just Facebook.com, and see what happens. I tried it. Nope. Huh?
Something is wrong.
Yep. You can't go to Facebook.com.
Facebook down.
Facebook is down.
Oh, really? What's up here? I mean, we're.
Yeah, well.
Oh,
Are you trying on your laptop?
I'm trying on everything.
Did you try on your laptop?
Yeah, why?
Okay. Well, I'll say maybe they blocked it here internally.
But
But that's our own network.
I'll try right. Some says, sorry, something went wrong. Yeah.
But you're still streaming?
Still streaming, people are answering.
It's weird, man.
Now, I want to show you how to with my 50-page revealing report called Proof Why Tax Lien Certificates Are the Superior Vehicle for Your Financial Success. In my report, you'll learn where to find
There's 17 people on.
Ask them if their Facebook's working.
25% secured fixed returns.
Well, it must be working if they're watching. It seems, well, why isn't ours working?
I don't know.
Could they be watching it on YouTube instead of Facebook?
No, YouTube for separate.
Suzanne, try to go to Facebook.com and see what happens.
913-0977 in the next 30 minutes, and Tony will give you 2 free tickets to his live trailer.
Maybe Rocket Man broke into it. Did you see, apparently he's hiding some missiles and shit?
0977 for your free report now. Your shot at
YouTube is fine.
Facebook is not working on my phone.
Facebook, I can't get it on the tablet either.
Plus iHeartRadio info.
Can't get it on my notebook.
Not us. Their whole site is down. Nobody can get
What's
on.
weird is we've got 18 people watching us.
They might have been watching us when it went down.
Isn't that wild?
Well, I still see it.
Can they talk to us?
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. We are
solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. This hour brought to you by Fuller Law. No doubt there are going to be accidents, car accidents. He is the most knowledgeable wizard with traffic accidents, John Fuller. Listen, folks, do me a favor. Call us if you ever are getting screwed around by your insurance company for anything. They're just not set up to be your friend, and we'll help you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you're just tuning in, we are people who have been for 38 years in Denver alone and more elsewhere, have been helping people who contact us for help. You know, somebody screwed you, you need help with something, you just need advice on something. John Fuller is one of the names we give out when people say, I've been in an accident, I don't know what to do, it's the other person's problem, or my insurance company is supposed to cover me under uninsured motorists, and they're not. I'm not getting anything. Just basically any kind of an accident, you want to know what your rights are. Personal Injury CO, that stands for Colorado, Personal Injury CO.com. 303-597-4500. That's John Fuller, personalinjuryco.com. John Fuller, a personal injury expert. He'll answer any question free of charge, and basically you only pay when you hire him, and he recovers for you. So if you have any questions after this snowy thing and you have accidents, any questions, even if there are no injuries, 303-597-4500. He knows a lot about the law. Of course, that's what he does. Now, we're helping people, and we have a question. This one is weird. A woman called, and I'm going to bring up Mike Wink from the law firm of Wink & Wink. They do bankruptcy, so they would know about liens, you would think, right? So, Mike, this woman, Betty, had an HOA lien on her home for like 10 grand or whatever, right? It was a lot of money. And she filed for bankruptcy, personal bankruptcy, which relieved her from personal liability. Okay? And an investor bought that super lien. What I want to ask, Mike, what is a super lien, first of all? A super lien means it supersedes the mortgage even, right?
Right, right. So the way to think about it is that all HOA assessments have a statutory lien. So they have a lien on your house.
Automatically.
But automatically. The issue is that, especially in a down market, say during the recession, where there's not enough equity in the home to pay all the liens, if you had a foreclosure and the house wasn't worth more than, say, was owed on the first mortgage, the HOA might get nothing but for this super lien. So the super lien basically bifurcates their lien. It splits it into two so that roughly 6 months of assessments get paid first before, say, the mortgage would get paid. And then the rest of the lien would go on the end after the mortgages get paid.
If the HOA forecloses on their super lien, do they owe the first mortgage?
Yeah, well, so the first mortgage would have to get paid or agree to a short sale in order for the HOA to take the property to take the title of the property free and clear from the first mortgage.
Okay, okay, that's where my misunderstanding is. I thought a super lien literally supersedes that mortgage. That's why it's called a super lien. I thought. Okay,
right.
Go ahead.
But if foreclosure is a process by which, so if they bought the home, they would still have to deal with the first mortgage lender. But
the IRS wouldn't, right? The IRS, or that's truly a super lien, or am I wrong with that too?
Meaning they could take the home free and clear of that lien.
Can they?
So you have to pay all the liens in the foreclosure sale, right? So if
no, that's not true. A first mortgage doesn't have to pay all the liens underneath it. They just have to pay themselves back.
Right. But what I'm saying is the first mortgage. Are you saying? So you're saying could the HOA sell the home and force a sale, even if the first mortgage does not get paid? Is that the question?
Yeah, I'm asking. Okay, I know this. The IRS, if they're owed $100,000 or $10,000 or $20,000, the IRS, once they take that home, if the first lender, if the first or second or somebody doesn't pay that tax, they lose their rights. They lose the home. And that's why many times the first mortgage holder steps in and pays the taxes. So the house is not taken out from under them. I just want to know if an HOA has a super lien, they're in first position when it comes to proceeds, the first 6 months. That's okay. So first 6 months. So if there is a foreclosure, okay, and that foreclosure, if they put it up for sale, the HOA puts it up for sale, and let's say just enough money is collected to pay the super lien, do those other people get that house free and clear?
Yeah, I think that's what the super lien means.
Exactly. They get it free and clear.
But the first mortgage is always going to have the ability to pay that super lien.
Oh, absolutely.
But they have to do it within They have to do it within 5 days of foreclosure. They didn't do it here. That's the thing. This guy bought the lien.
Yeah, but that's no longer a super lien. Ask Mike that. Mike, if it's a super lien and someone buys that, it goes to the HOA, gives it $12,000 or whatever.
Mark, he just answered it. I think he just answered it. In other words, I go to I just said that. I go and buy a home. Okay, but I go to the HOA sale or the public sale. The HOA is owed $50,000. The first mortgage is owed, let's say, $200,000, and I bid $50,000. Okay, I bid enough to pay off the lien. That's it, and I win that home. I just bought the super lien. The super lien is paid. Do I owe that mortgage?
You would have to go through the foreclosing. You would have to foreclose on the house.
You as the buyer, are you the buyer in this scenario?
Yeah, it's a very simple question. There is a sale. The HOA is owed $50,000, and they put the house up for sale in a public auction.
That's not what happened here, though. They just sold that one lien.
I'm just asking a question. If the house goes up for foreclosure and someone buys the home, but there's only enough proceeds to pay the lien, they get that home free and clear.
The buyer does.
Yeah. Okay, so Quantumonics, Mark, did not buy the lien. They bought it at foreclosure, I thought.
No, they bought. It sounds like they just bought the paper that the HOA had.
Betty?
Yeah.
In September, or when that foreclosure was on your home, was it a foreclosure?
It was a foreclosure for the lien of the HOA due.
Well, of course it was. It was a foreclosure for it was a foreclosure, right?
Correct. Yes, it was.
And did Quantumonics, they bid on the foreclosure, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So therefore, Quantumonics became the owner free and clear. They are not subject to.
I bet if we pulled an O&E on this, they do not own the house.
Mark, why do you refuse to see that if you bid and pay the super lien?
Because my understanding is they only bought that lien. They didn't buy the whole house, and it didn't go through foreclosure.
First of all, where'd you get your understanding? Since she's the only one that told us the story.
And from what she just said a second ago.
She said it was a foreclosure.
Okay. Well, we'll find out.
I do have the paperwork for that. I did have
Betty,
let's send it over.
The home went into foreclosure, right? And there, how many bidders were there? Do you know?
No, I do not know.
Okay, but it was in foreclosure. It wasn't a private deal where Quantumonics bought the lien.
Correct. It was a sheriff's sale.
It was a sheriff's sale. So, but Mark brought up another question. Because Mark, I don't care if it was a foreclosure or not. I wasn't there. But he brought up another question, Mike, that really needs answering. And
here's what it says right here on her paperwork. Please note that the lien being foreclosed may not be the first lien on the residence. All they bought was the paper on that second note. And Mike, and I'm saying, then it converts. Well, it's no longer a super lien.
Well, Mark, okay, you tell me about your law school later. Let me just ask Mike Wink a question here. Mike, I don't know the answer. That's why I'm asking an attorney. If I buy a super lien, not a foreclosure now, I go to the HOA and I say to them, hey, you're owed 20 grand on this super lien. Okay? Can I buy the lien and keep it in place? And can I inherit the status of a super lien?
Yeah, I believe so. I know you can do it with tax assessments.
Yeah. So I would become in first position if I bought a super lien.
You buy those rights. That's correct.
Mark, he's saying, where did you get that it converts?
I don't know why we're not doing anything in the world then besides buying up super liens. That's where I go. It seems too easy to make money then.
Mark, it doesn't sound logical, or did someone tell you differently?
It doesn't sound logical.
Okay, I'm trying to find the answer. I don't know. So, Mike, I would assume if I went to an HOA, or all HOAs, and say, hey, I'm going to buy up super liens. Mark is right. That is a surefire way of buying real estate and really basically dismissing first liens, mortgages.
Or the mortgage, like you said, the mortgage lender just pays you.
Yeah, that's right. They just pay you.
So in this case, what?
In this case,
we're back to what happened.
Quantumonics was in first position, not subject to any lien, and not subject to any home. It's just that simple. They're not subject to it. I mean, I don't. So Mike, so we're clear. If the HOA forecloses and somebody buys that home, they're not subject to anything other than what was collected at foreclosure. In other words, if there's any money left over, it goes to the first lien. But then after that, that lien holder, that mortgage company can't come and bug them for the rest of the money.
That's correct.
Okay. And then if it didn't go to foreclosure and I make a private deal with an HOA, I will inherit their super lien status.
Exactly.
All right, thank you. winkandwink.com, their bankruptcy attorneys, 303-410-1720. Now, Mark, let's continue to explore, because I'm with you. It doesn't sound logical to me, because it sounds to me like the best investment in the world would be, the best investment in the world.
Find a big HOA in Highlands Ranch
and just keep buying super liens. That's paying off 6 months of HOA dues.
And then you own the house.
I'm going to go on to other calls. If anyone has any input on this and you can't get through, you can get through at 303-MARTINO, 303-627-8466.
I would like to pull an O&E on that.
All right. Jay Bretz is with us from Excel Roofing. And Plumb Line Services right now, wow. They are offering free second opinions. They know it is a crazy time for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, and you will be inundated with offers. And many people will be trying to sell you a furnace because, guess what? It's cold, and you may think, I need a furnace. They will give you free, absolutely free second opinions if you have a written offer or any kind of an estimate for a furnace or any major appliance like water heater or a panel upgrade. So plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, free second opinions. If you need a furnace, they're giving half off a furnace if you couple it with a new AC. No tricks, no gimmicks. 303-586-1086. They also have 18-month financing, no interest. They also have 10-year parts and labor. 303-586-1086, plumblineservices.com.